K News Bulletin with me, Emmanuel George. The Ministry of Finance and Development Planning has officially launched the process of preparing the proposed national budget for fiscal year 2026. Speaking at the launching ceremony held in Congo Town on Tuesday, July 14, 2025, Finance Minister Augustin Gafuan disclosed that all will be done to ensure that the proposed national budget is submitted to the 55th legislature by October 2025. Minister Gafuan added that efforts will be placed on the generation of domestic revenue to tackle the issue of infrastructure development such as roads and the provision of electricity in order for business to flourish in Liberia. The Civil Servants Association of Liberia has disassociated itself from the much talked about Enough is Enough protest slated for Thursday, July 17, 2025, under the auspices of the Solidarity and Trust for a New Day, led by Moba Molu. CSAL President Moba Johnson noted that the association's duty is to seek the interest of public sector workers and not to engage in politics. Addressing a press conference in Monrovia on Tuesday, July 14, 2025, Johnson pointed out that the CSAL National Executive Committee has not been informed of any protest and will not form part of the protest. Johnson rallied the support of civil servants not to form part of any protests. President Joseph Boakar's fight against corruption by suspending alleged corrupt officials has been met with sharp criticism over what many critics view as lapses from his government to fast-track investigations and prosecute corrupt suspended officials. Alvin Wiese, a staunch member of the opposition Congress for Democratic Change, lashed out at the Boakar administration's fight against corruption, stating that the government has yet to ensure that suspended officials are prosecuted and made to restitute stolen state resources. Wiese termed the suspensions of numerous officials by President Joseph Boakar as political showmanship. He said the government's fight against corruption can only be genuine when it exerts equal energy on prosecuting former officials and current officials and ensures that corrupt public servants do not work with impunity. He named the suspension of the Liberia Telecommunications Chairman Abdoulaye Camara, the Chief Executive Officer of the National Oil Company, Rosalind Swakoko Dennis, and the Director General of the Liberia Agriculture Commodity Regulatory Authority, Christopher Sankolo, among others, as alleged corruption cases that the government is yet to provide outcomes for and ensure prosecution is proven. The Senior Youth League member of the opposition CDC, Alvin Wiese, asserted that a local media outlet on Tuesday, July 15, 2025, however, and accused the Boakar administration of turning a blind eye to prosecuting supporters of its regime. Information Minister Jerry Limwe-Pia has dismissed as false a trending video circulating on the internet claiming that President Joseph Newman Boakar expressed outrage over remarks made by the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, during a meeting with African leaders on July 9, 2025. Speaking during the Ministry of Information, Culture Affairs and Tourism regular press briefing in Monrovia on Tuesday, July 15, 2025, Minister Pierre clarified that the video is fake and that President Boakai has not granted any interview, podcast appearance, or special media engagement regarding the U.S. African meeting. He cautioned both the media and the public to remain vigilant and avoid spreading such misinformation. According to him, the meeting between President Boakai and the U.S. President was a major diplomatic success and a positive development for Liberia. However, the minister acknowledged that some individuals appeared displeased with the outcome of the meeting and are using artificial intelligence tools to create deceptive content purporting to be President Boakai. He urged the media to fact-check content before publication and call on citizens to report suspicious materials to the appropriate authorities. The organizers of the Enough is Enough July 17 protest, the Solidarity and Trust for a New Day, has released a sampling point for protesters to converge in Monrovia and its environs before parading to Capitol Hill. STAN's National Chairman, Moba Molu, disclosed that the Liberia National Police has committed that there will be no checkpoint along the road leading from the ELWA junction to Capitol Hill and from Freeport to Capitol Hill. Addressing a press conference in Congo Town on Tuesday, July 14, 2025, Molo disclosed that the LMP has also committed that there will be no armed officers along the routes leading to the Capitol Hill. Molo disclosed that the official colors for the protest are red, white, blue, and yellow and will be used by STAN members. But the Bon County Chairman of the Congress for Democratic Change, CDC, Sebli Weye, has stepped down from his position and withdrawn his membership from the party. Weye's resignation comes amid claims of marginalization and lack of inclusion in the party's internal affairs. He made the announcement on a local radio station in Monrovia, pointing to years of dissatisfaction and neglect faced by Bon County under the CDC leadership. According to him, Bon County has not received the recognition and attention it deserved, despite playing a key role in the party's political journey. He rose to prominence as a student and youth leader and was recognized in 2012 by the former political leader George Weah for his active role during the 2011 elections, despite the efforts made by local party members to promote the CDC's agenda, where he said Bon County was often overlooked when it came to fulfilling political promises and sharing opportunities. He described the situation as deeply disappointing for many grassroots supporters. Weye said his resignation is intended to allow him to refocus on his professional life and to pave the way for a new generation of leadership in Bon County. He emphasized that his decision is not aimed at joining any other political party, but rather to step aside and reflect on his personal and professional journey. With just 2 days to the highly anticipated July 17 protest organized by the civil society group Solidarity and Trust for a New Day, STAN, the Independent Elder Council of Liberia is calling on protesters to demonstrate peaceful and respect the rights of others. The council reminded citizens that while Article 17 of the Liberian Constitution guarantees the right to peaceful assembly and free expression, those rights must be exercised lawfully and with regard for public order and freedoms of fellow Liberians. In a statement delivered by Edwin Gbagbo, Secretary General of the Council, protesters were urged to aid in a manner that promotes democratic balance and avoids infringing on the rights of non-participants. Gbagbo also appealed to the Liberia National Police to remain neutral and ensure the safety and protection of all citizens, both those participating in the protest and those going about their normal business. The House of Representatives Joint Committee on Transport, Judiciary, and Foreign Affairs held deliberations on the ratification of key international aviation protocols and conventions. The move is seen as a major step towards aligning Liberia's aviation standards with global practices. The House reviewed several international agreements, including conventions that address air safety, passengers' rights, air navigation, and security protocols. These documents form part of international efforts led by the International Civil Aviation Organization to ensure safety, efficiency, and legal clarity in global air travel. Committee members stressed the urgent need for ratification, citing Liberia's growing role in regional air transport and the importance of staying compliant with international aviation standards. Once ratified, the conventions are expected to improve Liberia's airspace governance, attract more international airlines, and strengthen passenger protections. The Joint Committee will now compile its report and forward its recommendations to the full plenary for consideration. The National Lottery Authority has officially launched its distribution of assorted food and non-food items to physically challenged, orphaned, destitute persons, old folks, and public welfare institutions in the country. NLA Director General Reginald Nangbe disclosed that the distribution will go to 182 institutions in 9 of the 15 sub-political divisions, because those in the southeastern region had received theirs earlier. Speaking during the launching ceremony, Nangbe explained that about 200,000 United States dollars was spent on assisting less fortunate people in recent times. According to Nangbe, the food and non-food items that will be distributed are bags of rice, vegetable oil, soap, and many others. The NLA Director General said the distribution of food and non-food items is a way of the government putting a smile on the faces of the physically challenged, orphans, and old folks during the July 26th celebration. The Liberia Labour Congress has strongly warned its members, its member organizations, and individuals against participating in the July 17 protest organized by the Solidarity and Trust for a New Day in Monrovia. LLC Secretary General Marcus Blama said the National Executive Committee of the Congress did not give any approval for its members to form part of the politically charged protest Addressing a press conference held at the LLC offices in the township of Gardnersville, Blama pointed out that as a labor union, it is not the business of workers to engage in political activities that will not benefit their interests. The LLC Secretary General assured workers that any problems workers have with the government can be handled through negotiation. K News Bulletin, Emmanuel George, good afternoon.